Welcome back to Sportsbook Review of Videos. The NFC South Divisional Future Odds is led by one team, and that team can only be the Carolina Panthers after coming off of a very impressive year but lost in the Super Bowl. The Panthers are in a virtual tie at 4-1 to win the NFC with the Seattle Seahawks, and they are overwhelming favorites to win the NFC South and the rest of the division that is still very much rebuilding right now. But getting Kelvin Benjamin back for this Carolina Panthers team is going to be huge for an offense that was already very productive in 2015. Josh Norman, of course, is out after a surprise move in free agency that left him leaving. But the Panthers did try to recover from that. They took 3 corners in the draft. They get Charles Johnson back from free agency as well on a reasonable deal. The Carolina Panthers are once again going to be the cream of the crop in the NFC along with Seattle and Green Bay. Do not sleep on them here, but their odds to win the division obviously a little bit out of reach at this point. Now, the next team, probably easily the second best team in the division, they're going to be the Atlanta Falcons this year. Still a very good offense, but did pay Mohamed Sanu way too much money to be a part of that offense here this summer, so a little bit of questionable move there, especially their defense still going to be very questionable. But I like the moves to bring in Alex Mack at center. That should really help this offense. Adrian Claiborne on the defensive side, I really like that signing as well. 5-1 to win the NFC South, though. No way I'm touching that line over the Carolina Panthers this season. New Orleans Saints at 6-1 to win the division. Brought in Nick Fairley as one of their big free agent signings here this offseason and drafted Sheldon Rankins 12th overall, so at least they're trying to improve that defense this season. But gave Kobe Fleener $21 million in guaranteed money, which is a very questionable move, especially with the fact that even though it still really don't have a whole lot of pass catching behind him and Brandon Cooks, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for Drew Brees, who they could not agree with on an extension this summer as well. So not a whole lot of room to sign other people with the cap hit that Drew Brees' contract is taking here this season. Definitely not a play here in the NFC South. Now, finally, another team is definitely not a play in the NFC South, but still at least was potentially going in the right direction until they fired Lovie Smith, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at plus 750 to win the division. I think Lovey was making obvious improvements after he did lose his last 4 games, but they were 6-6 at one point, looking like a comparable football team. They gave Doug Martin way too much money this offseason. I liked some of their signings. They brought in Brent Grimes, they brought in Robert Ayers, but this team was heading in the right direction. I think they took a couple steps backward after firing Lovie Smith, and I do not believe that they will be any better under a new head coach this season. But that'll do it for the NFC South. Definitely a Carolina Panthers division here easily in this one. It's probably one of the biggest locks of divisional future odds this whole season. But make sure you continue to check out our NFL future odds and other preseason coverage as we head into training camp later this month. But until then, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.